Hidden away in the heart of the Dharawal National Park, south of Sydney, sits part of an old coal mine. It was last used in the 1990s, but this thermal imaging taken in April and given exclusively to the ABC detected methane still coming from the vent shafts. It's a greenhouse gas far more potent than carbon dioxide when released. When coal seams are disturbed, trapped gases can enter the atmosphere for years.
We're worried that miners just tend to move off from their responsibilities once they're finished making money from a site.
Concerned Illawarra locals say it's polluting what's supposed to be a protected area.
In the conditions that came with the approval, they were meant to return the site to as natural a state as possible.
The mine's owner, South 32, acknowledged there are residual methane emissions and says a rehabilitation plan was submitted to the state government late last year. The government says it's a requirement for rehabilitation to be undertaken as soon as reasonably practicable.
We're in a situation in Australia where we have coal mines that could be emitting gas for up to 40 years after they've stopped mining coal.
The International Energy Agency estimates Australia could be underreporting its emissions from fossil fuels by at least 60%, meaning the energy sector could be a far bigger contributor than what's reported.
Australia has a gaping hole in the way that we report climate pollution from fossil fuel projects, which means we don't even know how much climate pollution coal and gas projects are contributing.
Improvements in technology are now making it more difficult to hide. Satellites and thermal imaging used by organisations like the ACF can detect hotspots, like in Queensland's Bowen Basin, and leaks at closed mines. That technology has fueled warnings that underreporting is so significant it could put Australia's Paris climate targets in jeopardy. Late last year, the federal government signed the Global Methane Pledge to cut emissions by 30% by 2030.
I think the issue is really reducing the amount of methane that we're creating from mining if we continue to allow it to mining to expand, and I think there's 18 expansions in New South Wales alone and a number also in Queensland. We do need to ensure that methane regulation is improved.
I am pressuring the government to ensure we do our bit. Otherwise, Australia is misleading the international community on its emissions.
The federal government says it's committed to improving Australia's emissions reporting, but campaigners say that's not enough.
There's no excuse. You should clean up your mess once you've made it.
A mess that's proving tricky to manage. Xanthe Gregory, ABC News.